How is it going, everybody? You're watching the About Tech, and Apple has just released iOS 16 latest update, iOS 16.2, which is actually a big update. It's the second major update to iOS 16, and it's pretty considerable actually because it introduces quite a lot of new features, changes, even new apps, and of course bug fixes, security updates, and all of the good stuff. And in this video, I'm gonna tell you everything you need to know. So I'm gonna go through all of that I've just mentioned, everything that's new, and of course, I'm also gonna talk about how's the performance in iOS 16.2 and battery life. Let's talk about battery as well. So everything you need to know in just a few minutes. Let's get started. So the first new feature I wanna talk about is actually called Apple Music Sing, which is actually a karaoke for your iPhone. And this is actually really cool, guys. So as you can see, all you have to do is open up Apple Music, and then you're gonna need to play a song. It's actually only working on selected songs, but I've tested on a ton and it works on all of them. So it's a pretty large catalog. And then all you have to do is tap here on the lyrics, and as you can see, we have this new button, and as we tap on that, the karaoke feature will enable, and as you can see, you can sing along and you can see exactly how fast you need to sing, exactly how you need to sing the song. This is really cool, and as you can see right here, this is actually a slider, so then you can move upwards or downwards, and then this will actually make the voice of the singer, of course, louder, so then you can sing with the singer, or if you want to, you can make it lower like that, and then it'll pretty much just be the instruments and you singing. So this is super cool. Please keep in mind that I can't really show you because if I put some volume here and if I play this song, actually I'll have problems with copyright, but as you can see here, that's how it works. Really cool. The only downside to that is that, of course, you need to be an Apple Music subscriber, so this is not a free feature because you need to pay for Apple Music in order to use it. But of course, if you are an Apple Music user, you'll be able to use it no extra cost. Next, if you care about privacy, you'll love this new feature. It has to do with AirDrop. So as you can see here, I'll put down my control center and then tap and hold here, and I have AirDrop. And the problem with AirDrop is that if you use AirDrop a lot like I do, sometimes you just like to leave it as everyone, because even if you put it as contacts only, sometimes even your contacts can't see you. So then putting it as everyone will always work. But the problem with that is if you leave it as everyone, there's a privacy, there's a security hazard here, which there are a ton of problems with AirDrop, with spam messages and malicious people sending terrible messages through AirDrop. So to fix that, Apple thought of a solution. So if you tap and hold on AirDrop, you have the possibility to choose everyone for 10 minutes. And this is absolutely awesome because if you need to use AirDrop to send or receive files to friends and family members, you enable this feature, so everyone for 10 minutes, you'll be able to share your stuff for 10 minutes and then it'll come back to receiving off. So then it's like a turn off, an automatic turn off feature. So I absolutely love this, and if you use AirDrop and you care about security, I do recommend that you use it like I'm using. Let's talk about the always on display on the iPhones 14 Pro and 14 Pro Max. So there's a problem with the always on display, which for a lot of iPhone users, it's actually draining so much of the battery. So even though it's kind of dark, as you can see here, but the fact that you have wallpaper, notifications, a ton of information and all, this will actually drain a lot of your battery. So to fix that, Apple thought of a solution. So now, if you go ahead and go to Settings and you scroll down until you see Display and Brightness, and then once again scroll down until you have Always on Display, you have this possibility here, and now you can actually customize it. So you can have Always on Display, but maybe you don't want the wallpaper and you don't want the notifications. So then your Always on Display will look like this. As you guys can see, super dark, super black, no notifications. Everything is super optimized to save battery. So you have the always on display, but it's optimized. So now you don't have to just turn off always on display. You can use it in an optimized way. And of course, if you want to use it full screen, full spec with everything, just enable everything and it's gonna be like it always was. Now let's talk about a new widget here in the lock screen. So if I unlock my iPhone and then I tap and hold and then I customize, tap here on lock screen, I can see my widgets, right? So if I actually tap here to add a new widget, we have health and we have medications. So as you can see right here, the medications widget is brand new, and now you can use it to track your medications even here on your lock screen. As you can see, I don't have any because I'm not taking any medications at the moment, but if I had, it would show here the time of that medication. Really, really cool. And if you're not really sure what I'm talking about, like medications on the iPhone, yeah, the iPhone has a specific tool to actually track and manage all your medications, vitamins, supplements, and it's right here inside the Health app. And I actually have a video here on the channel showing you how you can set it up and use it. So go ahead and click on the card, link in the description. If you take any medications or, as I said, supplements, vitamins, this is so good. It's the best way to manage all your meds, pills, and everything like that. Oh, and remember that I said that there's a new app in iOS 16.2? Yep, that's right. It's called Freeform. Apple actually showed it in the keynote of iOS 16, but it's only here now. And if you see Freeform, it's actually a very specific, a very niche product, but as you can see, it's kind of a board. It's a huge, infinite board that you can use to work and collab as a team. So on your company, if you're working on a project, or maybe if you're a student, and if you need to work on a project where everybody can collab and throw here images, text, video, everything that you want, even drawings and everything. So think of it like a whiteboard, an infinite whiteboard that's synced up online with anyone that you want, with multiple people. Very cool little application. As I said, it's a little bit specific to some activities, but if you think this is helpful to you, I do recommend that you go ahead, check it out, invite some friends, collab. This can be a very cool productive tool. Now let's go to our settings because we still have new features. As you see, it's a ton of stuff. It's a huge software update. And if you tap here on the banner which says Apple ID and your name right here at the top, and then you tap on iCloud and then you scroll down, you'll see here advanced data protection, and by default it'll be turned off, and this is a new feature, and what it does pretty much is protect a ton of your information, data, and processes on your iPhone with end-to-end encryption. So as you can see here, if you enable the feature, all of that data will be protected in this new way, in this advanced way. So your device backup, your messages backup, iCloud Drive, notes, photos, Safari bookmarks, as you can see here, a ton of stuff. And this could be really interesting if you're really concerned about privacy and security, but the only downside to that is if you enable this feature and if you need to recover your data later, even Apple won't be able to recover it and retrieve it back to you because it's protected end to end. So only you will be able to actually get this information back and access this information however you want. So on top of your Apple ID and information, you'll also need to have a key, a recovery key, in order for, if you forget something, you have that key. So as I said, is a very cool feature, is an advanced protection, but make sure that you know what you're doing because maybe this is too advanced, because as I said, if something goes wrong with your data, not even Apple will be able to help you retrieve it. We have even more new stuff, starting with the Messages app. Now we have an advanced search in Messages. So if you need to search for a message or a chat or anything that you want, Messages is smarter now. So it can not only search for text, but also now for images, videos of, for example, dog, a cat, some objects. So then if you're looking for that specific photo of your dog, you can search for dog and Messages will help you find it. It recognizes dogs and show it to you as results. Unfortunately, I can't show it to you right now just because it's not working on my iPhone. I tried it, it's not working. Maybe it's still indexing since I've just updated to 16.2. Let's see. We also have new stuff here on weather. We actually have news in weather, which is kind of strange, right? But not really. Now in 16.2, we'll see some specific news related to weather in the weather app. So if you have, for example, warnings, if you have severe weather, you actually see news popping up right here related to the weather in your location right here inside the weather app. Super cool. Again, can't really show you because I don't see it. I looked for it, I can't see it. Maybe it's also still indexing, or maybe there's just no relevant news where I live here in São Paulo. It's not over yet because we have new stuff in the Notes app as well. So if you use the collab feature right here in Notes, now in 16.2, you'll be able to actually see in real time where the other person who's collabing with you is actually editing stuff, writing stuff in real time. So then you'll be able to see those edits, see everything in real time, just like Google Drive that you see it. Before, we weren't able to have that kind of synchronization here in the Notes app, but now we have it super live. And last but not least, we have one bug fix. I'm sure there are more, but Apple just mentioned one on their release note, and it also has to do with the Notes app. And it just fixes a bug where sometimes the Notes app just wasn't syncing. So then you would edit something, create a new note, do what you would normally on your notes, and then it just wasn't syncing. So then when you pick up the same note on your Mac, for example, or on your iPad, it just wasn't updated. So it just wasn't syncing with iCloud. Now it is. Now that's fixed. And last but not least, let's talk about performance and battery life. And to be completely honest with you, I don't really see too much room to improve the performance and overall smoothness, how responsive iOS 16 is. So I really think iOS 16 is pretty mature in that department. It's really good in performance, it's really fast, and it's just pretty much awesome. And that's why we don't see any change here in performance. Actually, I've ran some Geekbench scores and it was just microscope the difference. So it was just like 4 units. So then like completely irrelevant. So if we're talking about performance, don't expect change. iOS 16 is pretty mature already and it won't change much when we're talking about performance. But we have battery. We always have battery. And kind of good news and bad news at the same time, because the thing with battery is Apple is not mentioning that they know there's an issue with the battery. They're not like publicly saying there's a problem and we're fixing it, but they are fixing it. They are fixing it in the background. So ever since iOS 16.1, which we definitely could tell a difference in performance regarding battery, we just don't have major changes, but Apple is continuously improving. So then iOS 16.1.1 was an improvement in battery, 16.1.2 same thing, and now 16.2. Again, you won't see a huge difference, but Apple is making the battery on your iPhone in iOS 16 better. You just need to be patient. You just need to wait, keep updating, keep waiting for those software updates, and your battery will be better in the next few months probably. I know it's kind of a bummer, but that's what it is. And my final recommendation, of course, is if you are on iOS 16, go ahead and update it right now. iOS 16.2 is full of new changes, new features, new application, bug fixes, security updates, and of course, it's just the best version of iOS 16 at the moment. So that's literally it. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one as usual. Bye bye, guys.